I will do it for Alice. I will do it for Alice and send it to her. Okay, moving forward. Minutes of previous board meetings. I trust you all were able to get from the link to the website where the minutes were resident. Are there any adjustments to the minutes? Okay. Accept a motion to accept the minutes.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor of the motion, aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstain? Minutes accepted. President's report, filling board vacancies. I have checked with both Saul Schumer and Barbara Wilkinson to accept positions on the board. They both agreed. Barbara has accepted the position of publicity VP for publicity, which is a person in the bylaws. Saul has accepted the position of director at large. I would like to hear a motion to accept these two people to, in addition, to be added to the board in those capacities.
So moved.
Second.
Okay. Seconded. All right, all in favor of the motion? Aye.
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 Opposed? Abstain? Motion carries unanimously. I would like to point out a concern that Saul has expressed, that the position of APSUG rep, it has been folklore or knowledge that that person needs to be a board member. I don't necessarily believe that any volunteer needs to be a board member to do a job, and APSUG rep is a job. I believe that APSUG, as a sort of parent organization, would like to have their APSUG reps to be board members, but I do not believe that that is binding on the individual organizations. But Saul has been working very hard, is very active with APSUG, and has been participating in their various meetings. And so he will be a very able representative. Saul, would you like to comment at this time on APSUG rep or anything else?
I'm happy to be the rep.
He's also a board meeting, so that qualifies him in all ways.
Yeah, my point is, I don't think being a board member is necessary for
I
being an
agree.
APSUG rep.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Okay, moving forward. Will, do you have any for VP administration?
No, nothing concerning administration. I do have the membership report, of course.
Okay,
You want?
yeah, that is under committee reports. All right, programs report. Hank, would you like to comment on our track record with Zoom and other things?
No, I've now found, I guess it must be about a dozen of those APSUG webinars that are under an hour, and last week. That's a help. And you will be seeing more of those as time goes on. That's all on the subject of programs. Talk to you later.
Okay, on programs that are available for viewing independently of being the program for a senior computer group weekly meeting. my feeling is that those can be scheduled by the individuals if they have an interest in them, and may be of lesser value as the program for the SCG general meeting. Any comment on that?
I don't understand what you're saying.
I'm just saying that if there's a YouTube presentation that would be of value to the general meeting, if it's available as a YouTube, why don't we just make that known to people who have an interest in that subject, and they can go there and view that YouTube presentation as they see fit.
So you're saying don't use them for presentations? Why not?
I'm thinking
If it's a very specialized subject, we
Oh, yeah.
end up with just one person being interested. Yeah, I can do that now, but most of the ones that people have suggested have a bit of enough interest, in my opinion, to show it to everybody so far. But
Okay.
we can do it either way.
Well, I think it'll be a mixture. What they can now call hybrid, taking the best of both options. So,
I
enough
find
said.
that list very informative, and I've gone in and watched a couple of them myself that just were of interest to me, and I think it's great. Just as long as we have that list, it's super.
Right. Okay. Very good. All right. Moving forward, treasurer's report. Miriam.
Hello. First of all, I have to thank Saul Schumer, who detected a mistake in the report I sent out, which I have corrected and mailed you the correct cash flow statement. But I just sent it maybe 15 minutes ago, so you probably haven't discovered it yet. The activity for this month was we had one membership that came through with via PayPal, so we paid the PayPal fee. We had a little over $5 donation from Amazon Smile, which is probably from my shopping at Amazon. And I reimbursed Will Wakely $91 for the PO box, which apparently is half the year, which used to be about $90 used to cover the whole year. So it's gone up 100%, which I find hard to believe, but possible, I guess. We started the month with $4,924.57, and we ended with $4,853.04. And that's my report.
I might just report that actually that cost for the PO box is very reasonable. I know in Newport Beach, their boxes now are between $300 and $400 a year.
Really?
Oh yeah,
Wow.
my son's got one up there, and I was shocked. But they've just gone up everywhere. And when
Yeah.
I checked with UPS, she said the same thing. Even their rates have gone up tremendously.
What size box do we have, Will? Do we have the smallest box?
We do. We
Okay,
have the smallest box I have. It's about probably 6 by 6 by probably 2 feet deep.
yeah, okay.
Okay.
Saul?
Saul?
Just two things. One, the correction was not financial in any way.
Oh, yes, it was. Yeah.
Well, if it did impact the results, then yes, it would have been. So
Yes.
okay, then I will retract that. I was curious about that. But anyway, as far as the PO box costs, I know with another nonprofit I help, the prices have gone up. I think they were 90 something the prior year, and they were like about 147 or something like that the most recent year.
180 now.
Yeah,
It's
maybe.
180 now.
So
Yeah.
maybe they've gone even further up. I think ours renew in around June or something. So anyway, they have gone up.
All right.
That's
Very
it.
good. Thank you all. Does that conclude your report, Miriam?
It does.
I move we
the
accept as
report.
presented.
Second.
All in favor of the motion? Aye.
Uh,
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? The motion carries unanimously. Thank you. Committee reports, membership, Will.
Thank you. Can I screen share?
Yes,
Okay.
I would encourage the host to allow screen share.
Now it says a host disabled participant screen sharing.
No, you
So-
should. Let me see. One participant can share at a time.
Okay, I would like to screen share. And apparently it's going to allow me to.
It should work.
It should. I'm clicking on it. It says host disabled participant screen sharing. And I say, no.
Hang on, Will. Hank, if you make Will a co-host, he can
Yep, I
share.
will. I will, but just for everybody's information, my note about screen share says one participant can share at a time. That to me means any participant can share at a time.
No, and if you look on the security button, I'm just talking to Hank here, you'll see that where it says allow participants to,
Here we go.
sharing the screen is not enabled for everybody, but
is now.
co-hosts can.
It is now. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you.
Oh.
I'll try.
Thank you, Sal.
Yes, thank you very much. I'm able to do it now and sharing the screen. Can everyone see this or not?
Yep.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, if you look at the bottom where it says April the 9th, which is today, we now have 40 active members, of which 9 are life members. And there are still 12 who were members last year that have not renewed. We have one new member, which is Pat. I don't see Pat joining us today, but glad to have her here. So that's my report at this time. Any questions, I'll be happy to answer.
I have one question, and that is that I was marking the life members, and there's one name in particular that I don't even recognize, and I'm just wondering if they're still with us. And that one was Lutz Winkler.
Lutz
Yes,
Lutz Winkler. Yes, I've checked with Lutz. He is still alive
And the same with all of these other, I mean, like DJ, I'm sure he's still with us and all the rest. Okay, I was just wondering.
No, I have checked with all the life members and they
Okay.
are all above.
Very good.
Any questions, I'll try to answer. Otherwise,
I have a comment where we're slow sinking in the West as far as numbers of members go. And I would, if Barbara were here right now, I would exhort her to find ways to publicize us like Tom Sprague used to, so that we get some more members. When Louise was publicity chairman, she did not do any publicity because Tom Sprague did it all, and nobody could do it better than Tom. But Tom's not alive any longer, and we really need somebody to go out and beat the bushes. So I would just suggest that maybe Stan, you can speak to Barbara separately on this subject and make some suggestions.
The fortunate thing, Tom just had access to all of those avenues to advertise, which was very helpful.
Yep.
I'm calling her right now. Just let me dial.
Yeah, I think that's worth our time to speak with Barbara and get other people who might have places that she could call or contact.
a good place to do it is on this neighborhood news, which I am a member and many of you probably are too. But you can post a message there telling about our.
And which one is that, Will?
It's a neighborhood.
Next
news.
door? Is it like next
That's what
door?
it's called.
Next door?
Maybe it's next door is a magic word. Yeah.
The only trouble is that is just one area, because for example, I do next door, but I get Poway and Rancho Bernardo.
You can select different areas.
Yeah,
Well, if Barbara would produce something for us all to post on Nextdoor and we all post it on Nextdoor, areas, that's the sort of thing that would help. But it needs someone to coordinate it, like Barbara.
yeah. Oh, by the way, another source might be, if they put out something, is Oasis, which we've been trying to get for, our different presentations. But they're opening next October, a huge facility, another headquarters actually here in Rancho Bernardo. And what they're offering is mind-boggling. But I think that they're, that and through the library maybe are two sources. But I think if we could somehow get on some list for Oasis members, it would be good.
Yeah, you mentioned library. I think putting notices in libraries would be great.
Yeah. And I know that they used to post it in the La Jolla Library all the time, and it was good. Tom did.
Yeah, I think that Tom did a lot of
Unknown computer phone.
us in the La Jolla Library, but I
Right,
don't.
exactly. Yeah, he did. He did a lot in there, and it was good.
And if we can make sure that Barbara knows about that, maybe she can do some of that.
Yeah.
Also, aren't there announcements in the local newspaper about upcoming events or something?
Yeah, there used to be a column that ran, I think it ran every Friday.
I don't subscribe, so I don't know.
What are you thinking? The Union Tribune?
Yes.
I'll look and see. I get it digitally, but I don't recall seeing something like that.
I remember something in the San Diego Union Tribune. It was a small box, not really small, but a quarter of a page or a 16th of a page, maybe, that just conversationally told about various organizations that were meeting at various times during the next week. And we were often in there because of Tom.
I would like to make a suggestion that the club have some sort of a pamphlet that can be downloaded and printed at our own computers that we could take to a site and post it, for example, at the library or a supermarket, but a one that's updated and available to be printed from our club that's just able to be printed and posted.
Yeah, we have one. I don't know that it's been updated though.
But is
I
it
don't know who has
available
it.
to the board or the members to get online from the website that we can actually print out and post?
I'll take a look through my documents to see if I have a copy of the old one.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Sammy has her hand up.
Are we able to put anything on social media about these meetings?
We do have a SCG website and also a Facebook page.
We do have a Facebook page? Okay,
Yes.
I just wondered. All right.
Hank, I just sent you an email to send an email to Barbara. She didn't get anyway, she needs a refresh on the invitation. She's at a join window and she doesn't have the meeting number, and she deletes the previous meeting notices. So she didn't have the previous meeting notice. So please resend to.
Yes, I'm sorry. I'm very busy right now. I'm not interested in anything to do with Golf Crest. Bye-bye. Sorry, I'm getting.
Okay, can somebody send an invitation to Barbara Wilkinson? Her email is in the email that I sent you earlier, and her phone number is in the in that list also. She was not able to sign in this morning. And so please don't jump on her too hard about publicity, as you'll
Yeah.
scare her off from the job. And we just
Yeah,
got
right.
somebody to do it. And I assured her that it wouldn't be too difficult.
I
Thank
can
you
do
all.
that. I can do that.
Somebody, please.
I'll do it right away.
Okay, Saul.
I just would say that Alice's suggestions are spot on. I think libraries are good. Oasis is good. I do recall there used to be a column in the Union Tribune that Hank remembers about organizations and upcoming events. I don't know if it still exists. That was many years ago that I recall it.
I'll check it out. I'll check that out.
And please offer your assistance to Barbara in doing
Yeah.
these things, rather than just saying, here's something you can do. Okay, back to the board meeting.
We're down to old business.
Old business. I don't see anything on old business. Anybody
Nope.
have anything?
So we move on to new business.
Okay, email forwarder, Hank. Where are we on that?
It's done and I believe working. There were two people who were not on the list because they do not have Gmail addresses, but I found a way to put them on the list without Gmail addresses. It was Saul and Barbara, and both of them received the test email that I sent this morning and responded.
I don't understand. I have a Gmail, but you've got my Yahoo, but I get everything. Did you have to change mine or something? Because I get all your notices from everybody.
No, you can't, well, never mind. The Google Groups address list is established. It includes
Good.
it includes everyone who is a member of this board, including Saul and Barbara, who are new.
Great. Very good.
Unknown computer found.
Wherever that voice is coming from, could that person mute themselves if they're not speaking?
I don't think we know where it's coming from. I hear it.
Otherwise, Hank can mute everybody.
Okay, I think we're ready to move on to the ID security.
Okay, Saul pointed out that the info page at the SCG group, let me see if I can get there. This page, if I can share a screen. Can you see that?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, that includes all of our addresses and phone numbers and zip codes, and is dated. It's from January of 2021. That's a lot of information to be up on a searchable website. And I think that could be our the current list minus addresses, which I don't think I sent out.
I posted this. I'm the webmaster, so anything on the website you can blame me for.
Well, I'm suggesting that
I posted it because you sent it to me, Stan.
Well, probably sent it to everybody.
Yeah,
I
I'm sure you
guess I
did.
didn't really intend it
I'm
to
sure you
be
did.
up there.
I can delete it easily. The whole-
You might put,
Or you can send me something else which has what you want in it, and I'll post that instead. But I'm not going to get into
okay.
this.
I guess what I'm saying is please take this page down.
I
I would.
agree. I agree.
Will do.
Stan,
Okay.
can you send that document to the board?
Attached to the message that I just sent out, there was a BOD per SF PDF, I believe. Did you not get that? And am I thinking, oh, there's Barbara.
I got it.
All right. Is that self-explanatory? Yeah, the list that I attached to the message for the agenda. Saul, do you have a comment?
I think you're just trying to ask Will first whether he can answer your question, and then I'll mention mine.
I forgot my questions.
You wanted to know if Will got the information you sent out for the board.
I haven't looked for it. I probably do have it.
I don't know how to do it any other way.
Okay, so I would say it's a good thing to remove that because of the security issues that Stan brought up. But most nonprofit organizations just have a simple text webpage with a list of the board members, which is what leads you to the page that Stan presented. And I wonder if Hank could just make a web page on the website, which just lists the board members' names, if nothing else.
We already have a place on the website that says, here's all the board of directors.
And it leads to that document.
And it leads to the thing you just told me to take off of there. So I'm going to take it off of there. If you want something else there, someone please send me what you want there. Don't ask me to construct something.
I understand.
spent enough of my
Yes.
life already constructing things for this organization.
Right.
Okay, understand.
I understand. So the answer is no.
Plain and simple.
I guess my question is the list that I sent out to the board members attached to the agenda message have too much information to be on the website?
Yes.
What
Yeah.
do you want on the website? Just our names?
Yes.
Just names.
Okay,
And the positions if they're officers.
Correct. Thank you, Saul.
If you take the same list, Stanley, and just take, it's a spreadsheet, I think, and just take.
yeah, I understand a spreadsheet and how to eliminate.
Okay. I would
Yes,
have the columns of address,
yes, I
email.
understand that. I got that.
and that's all you need to take out, I think.
Well, if it's just the names, yeah, I'll leave the names and their positions.
Great.
All right, thank you. Okay, enough about security. Next meeting, May 14th. I think that's correct.
I believe that's correct. Let me just double check
Okay.
that real quick.
Does anybody else have anything they would like to? Oh, Barbara is here.
Yes. Welcome,
Does
Barbara.
anybody
Welcome,
want to
welcome.
offer Barbara some congratulations and instructions as to how to proceed?
I primarily need to know how to get on the Zoom. Anyway,
Mark this page in your web browser.
yeah, I'm saving Will's that's got the numbers on, so I'm okay now.
Barbara, I'll tell you what I'll put in the minutes is that we did have a discussion as to different ways that we could perhaps publicize more what we're doing. And we listed some suggestions like at libraries. And I know that Tom used to put something in the Union Tribune, some of the people have mentioned, but I'll try to mention some of those ideas and then it'll be in the minutes.
Oh, great. Okay, thank you.
But one of the big things that was discussed before you got here, Barbara, was that we are so glad that we have you as a
Yes,
for publicity. And we wish you all the success in the world in that job. And a whole bunch of us are willing to help you. And we hope that our help does not turn out to be a burden.
we'll try not to badger you.
Exactly.
Okay, I appreciate that. Thank you.
But we will encourage you because we need it.
I'll do my best. And I think we should be kind of promoting ourselves at the various seniors organizations around the county.
Right.
So, and right now I'm kind of trying to get involved in some of the seniors organizations. So I'll put my 2 cents within when I.
And Barbara, I'll look at when I'm at work, because, you know, I work for the Rancho Bernardo Senior Services, and we maintain lists like that. So I'll try to look over our lists and get them to you, some of those
Okay.
as well.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Okay, I
Okay.
saw Will was trying to get our attention.
Yeah, I had a question for Hank. Hank, does the invitation code change from week to week, or does it stay the same? Do you know?
I hear you kind of garbled, Will. Say it again.
Okay, does the invitation change from week to week, or does the underlying code URL stay the same?
The
Always
Zoom
stays the
link,
same.
the Zoom link is the same every single week.
Right.
Okay.
Yes. Every now and then it's changed, but only by Doug or Judy Tallur, but it's only been changed once in the last year.
Okay, so we could just save
Question,
that
Will?
URL and in case we don't get the weekly report somehow, we can just use that link and hope it works. Good.
Right. Yeah, and thanks, Will.
Okay, I'm going to adjourn the meeting and turn it over to Hank and Will for the Q&A portion of our meeting.
Will, you're up. And other people, please raise your hand if Dan has something.
Okay, Dan?
Yes. On that advertising the group, there was another group in San Diego, which was called K-Plug. And they used to use Meetup. And I just looked up Meetup K-Plug. It seems like that group has died also, because most of the stuff there is very old. And I just wanted to throw that out there if anybody wants to try it, or if you look at Meetup K-Plug, you'll see what happened, what they were using to advertise, I guess is all I can say.
Yeah, there is another group in San Diego called UCHUG, UCHUG. It's been around even longer, I guess. Well, I'm not sure if it's been around longer than seniors. I think it has, maybe 5 years longer, but they're still alive, and they meet only monthly on the first Wednesday night of every 7 o'clock every month. And very interesting, similar to ours, more techie, but it's an interesting group.
What was that name again, Will?
It's HUG. We call it UCHUG. If you do a Google search on it, they will send you an invitation to join their meetings. It's at 7 o'clock on the first Wednesday of every month. They used to meet at Wesley Palms also.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
It stands for Under the Computer Hood User Group. So it's their initials.
Good. Thanks.
It was
Al.
originally the Heath user group, where we were purchasing Heath computers, and which were do-it-yourself, build a computer. And unfortunately, the instruction manual left out a couple of important instructions.
Unknown computer found.
So we started a group, this was back literally in the early 80s, started a group that could tell everybody how to fix their computer and make it work. And then Heath went out of business, and so we didn't know what to do. So we just changed the name of it from HUG to UCHUG, and continues on. But it is a techie group.
Well, the K-Plug claims over 200 members, but like I said, they don't have anything posted for quite some time. So,
Well, the original HUG group had 400 members.
Wow.
And now it's down to about 25, I believe. Okay, any other questions that people have, or computer, or technical, whatever? I just
Dan is back.
Oh, Dan, go ahead. Dan, you have a question? Your hand is raised.
He's on mute. Oh, there he goes.
question is ID me. I have been referred to that website by 2 different government organizations, one of which is VA, and I will no longer be able to access my VA account after tomorrow if I don't have ID me. I went to ID me, they ask a whole bunch of questions. They want a picture of your ID, and they want you to contact them with a video capable device. And I'm a little bit hesitant to talk to them, but I did get referred to them by the VA, and I did get referred to them by the IRS website. So I don't know if anybody else has had any experience with them or not.
I have. I just recently wanted to get on the IRS website, and I had to go through that ID me thing, and I tried to do it without the online interview thing, and that didn't work. So I ended up, you get on a wait list, they give you a count, and it was 76 people, but it didn't take, it wasn't quite an hour. And then I had like a 5-minute conversation with some lady, and she approved of everything, and then I could get on the IRS website. So I think it's legitimate.
I had the same problem with the IRS website. I thought I had ID me working, but it didn't work.
Well, I think you have to use the interview because the other part doesn't seem to work.
All right.
And
Is there a California real ID, and do you need both the driver's license and the real ID, or just one or the other?
You just need one, but I tried with my real ID, and I guess my scanner wasn't enough detail for them. And they never told me anything. They just told me to contact them. So I scanned my real ID with my phone. And then I was able to transmit that to them, and they accepted the scan of my real ID. But then they told me I had to get on a camera and talk to them, have an interview also. So I'm still working on that. I guess I have to start up a computer with a camera and get back to them, get on their wait list.
So the answer is that you need one or the other, but not both.
Well,
Will the real ID is just an addition to a standard driver license or ID card in California? It's primarily used for domestic travel.
your senior ID is what I use for my real ID. It has the same number as my driver's license, except it has a real ID stamp on it, and my driver's license don't, because they wouldn't give me 2 real IDs. I also tried to scan my passport, and I had the same problem. It was I guess the scanner didn't provide enough detail. Somebody's got a,
Who is sharing this?
Hank is sharing his screen.
Okay.
Yeah, I got muted again. I've just put up a couple of things that I found about ID.me, about whether it's trusted, whether it's safe, and whether putting your social security up there is safe.
ID me and real ID are two different things.
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay, so I understand now that if you have a driver's license, you don't need real ID.
Unknown computer found.
That's correct.
Okay, good.
Yeah, the California driver's license is accepted as a real ID, as I understand it.
If you fill out a little bit of extra work when you get your driver license, it
Yeah.
will be a real ID.
you need to have a California sign on there. I'll have to look at mine and see what it is. It's a
It has a little bear,
little
the
bear.
California bear symbol.
Yes. And to get that, you need your birth certificate and proof of where you live, other things.
I just went through that process actually, because I went ahead and renewed my driver's license and I got it and I assumed that I would get the real ID and I didn't. So I went through the process of downloading those other documents. And actually I have an appointment Monday at 2:00 and they will give me and I pay my $36 and I will get the real ID driver's license.
Do you have to go to the DMV office for that?
No, well, either that or AAA. Now, when I did it, I screwed up some of the stuff I downloaded, but I downloaded my utility bill and I didn't realize I had downloaded the backside instead of the front, so they didn't have my name and address. But anyway, once that was approved, I could have done it at AAA or I could have done it at the DMV. But for me, the Poway DMV is just as convenient as the AAA, so I went that route. But it has to be one or the other.
And you can't have two real IDs.
Right.
I tried to get my senior's card and my driver's license with real ID, and they wouldn't allow that.
Yeah, that's true.
Dan, you talk about a senior's document. What is that?
The DMV will issue you an ID card, which doesn't allow you to drive. It's just an ID card.
Is that the real ID card?
No, it's an ID card. You can make it a real ID card by providing some more information, like your address and your birth certificate.
To clarify for Will, for those who may not drive nor need a driver license, you can get an equivalent ID card from the DMV, and I believe it's free for seniors.
I think that's true.
And it serves as an ID as you would have, like if you, in the old days, if you went into a store and you wrote a check, they might want to look at your driver license, but you may not have one. You could use your ID card from the DMV for that purpose.
Okay, thanks, all. Okay, other people have questions? I'd like to ask Saul something. I have one of these cards for the trolley, Saul, and
One of the Pronto cards?
yeah, one of the Pronto cards. How do you put money into that system?
You can either register online at the Pronto website, and then you can put money on there through various sources. I think I use a credit card, and you can choose how much you want to put on it. So if you want to put on $10 or $5.50 or whatever you want to put on it, you can do it that way, just like any other website you would be registered at. The alternative is you could go to a trolley station, use one of the ticketing machines there, and you can add amounts to it at that location. But I think they're pretty fixed amounts. You don't have the flexibility as if you use the Pronto card website.
Somebody indicated to me yesterday.
Website. Go ahead.
Somebody told me yesterday that you can go to bonds and add to your card.
Yes, there are some grocery stores that also provide those cards at whatever you want to do. You may be able to add them there. You can purchase the cards there with a pre-amount, like $5 on them or something like that.
Okay.
Question, observation. I recently renewed my driver's license, and the instructions were if I wanted the real ID, I had to go down to the DMV office or AAA or whatever and go through a song and dance. And they also gave me the option of going on the website. And I just went on the website and just without really thinking too much about it, went on through there and I completed and paid for my renewal on the website. So I presume that I am not getting the real ID driver's license. However, I do have a passport card, which I think will work in place of a real ID. It also is good only for domestic travel. That was a mistake too, but I got a passport card last time I renewed my passport. And actually, at the time I opted for the card, I didn't realize it was only for domestic travel. So anyway, that's what I'm going with. I'm going with a driver's license that is not real ID, and I carry a passport card with me.
And you know, the real IDs are they're not going to be mandatory or whatever until July of 23 is when that goes into effect.
Stan, how
Well,
did you
I
get,
will not have one after July of 23 because my driver's license will be good for another 5 years. So
Right.
I will be whatever without real ID, but with passport as a
And that's
card.
all you need. That's what everybody's told me, that's all you need.
But I don't think you'll be able to fly, will you, Stan?
Yep, I've been told you can with a passport.
The passport card is good for domestic travel only. And
Okay,
that's the downside of it. If you have the blue covered passport, that's good for international travel.
how did you get the card, Stan?
Well, when I made applications to make renewal, it was one of the boxes I checked.
Okay, thanks.
One of the reasons I had my senior ID as a real ID instead of my driver's license is because a senior ID card is valid longer than your driver's license. And also, they're not likely to take away your senior ID, but they may take away your driver's license.
Good point.
Dan, where did you get the senior ID? Where did you get the senior ID, Dan?
At the DMV, I got them both at the same time.
All right, thank you.
But like I said, they would not let me make both of those real ID, one or the other.
That way you couldn't impersonate yourself.
Right. Sounds ridiculous to me, but that's the way it is.
Okay, I just got a pair of Bluetooth connected earbuds that connect to my cell phone. I haven't learned how to use them yet. Apparently you tap them or something with your finger to turn them on and off and to change the volume. Does anybody use those?
I have a Bluetooth device that goes to, allows me to connect to my hearing aid. And the different manufacturers have different systems. Mine is a Signia, and it's, but it requires this dongle. Do you have a separate dongle that allows your hearing aid to connect to your phone or your computer?
These came in a white case, and is that the dongle?
Will has,
carry-
excuse me, Stan, Will has earbuds. He does not have hearing aids.
Okay.
Yeah.
Enough said.
Okay, I was worried that this might be a scam because they only cost like $7. And I couldn't believe you could get this type of earbud for that price. Normally they're like 20 bucks or 30 bucks, but these seem to be very professional, and so far I've made them work, but I'm not really clear on tapping them. It says you tap them 3 times to change volume, and you tap them once to turn them on or something. The fine print is so small I can't read it. It's the problem.
Where did you get them and for how much?
Well, I think they cost me $7, $6.95 or something.
Where?
It was on Facebook. I don't recall. I can send you an email on where I got them.
Ross has an answer.
So I use my cell phone to take a picture of something that I can't read. And then once I have a picture, I can zoom it as large as I want it to be. You may have to go to a second page to do that. But again, the cell phone is a great memory tool and also a magnifier.
Thank you. That's a good idea. Does anybody use these wireless earbuds? They seem like a great idea, but
I have some older ones that I use frequently that they're very, very good, but I haven't used the newer ones, and mine works fine. I have a little thing that I just push up and down to adjust the volume.
Well, I've always just used, like regular wired earbuds, and
But it's nice to have them Bluetooth. It's great.
Yeah, when they cost 20 or 30 bucks, I wasn't willing to try them. For $7, I was.
You'll play around.
If you have hearing aids, it's pretty difficult to use earbuds.
Yeah.
Well, Stan, he can use.
Miriam has a question.
No, I don't have a question. I have a comment about hearing aids and earbuds and listening to music off your phone. I recently got hearing aids, which I do not have on at the moment, from Costco. I thought they were relatively inexpensive for what I had been expecting to pay for hearing aids. They are you don't have to have used batteries. They recharge. And when I go for a walk, I put my hearing aids in, I use them as earbuds because they Bluetooth to my phone, and my phone also Bluetooths to my Garmin watch. So I can control the volume from my watch, and I can turn it off and on. So if I'm walking along and I run into somebody to whom I want to talk, I can use my watch to turn it off, so I can hear the people. And then when I'm done, I can turn it back on from the watch. So it's a pretty neat system.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. And as I said, the price of hearing aids is coming down because there's going to be an over-the-counter hearing aid pretty soon, and that's going to drive the price of the other ones down. So I've been pretty happy with these. I haven't noticed a great difference because consequently I don't use it all the time. But if I'm going for a walk, for sure I'm going to use them because they're my earbuds.
Yeah, I bought hearing aids many years ago, and they're still in the box. I think I paid like several $1,000s for these things, and I think I tried them out one time and they did work, but then I discovered I really don't need them.
Well, the lady at Costco said I do, and it's interesting, they keep records of all of your tests. So I had a test maybe 8 or 10 years ago at the Costco in Milwaukee, and they compared the two, and I could see the difference. And so it looked like I probably could use it, but I'm just not, it doesn't solve the problem of not understanding lines on television or in the movies. That they haven't solved.
If you're a veteran, you can get free hearing aids.
Well, that's an even better price.
But I understand the problem with understanding. I have the same problem. I can hear it, but I can't understand it. So
Yeah. Closed
By the way,
captioning is the best thing for that.
By the way, folks, you may not know, those that don't know, you can turn on subtitles for this particular Zoom session by going down to the bottom and clicking on a live transcript, which is on my computer, third from the right-hand end. And that turns on subtitles at the bottom.
You actually then have to click on show subtitles. The two click.
But I think it's great if you have problems hearing.
Mine says closed caption.
It may, the different Zoom interfaces label it differently. I think on the Chrome OS, it's just called closed caption.
Okay, other questions? Otherwise, I'll turn it back over to Hank.
There's two hands raised.
Yeah, there's two.
Okay, I'm ignoring it. Okay,
I have a
Stan.
comment about, hearing aids. Again, I've got them through the VA, and I've had them through the VA for years. And it's very good. I listen to streaming talk radio from my phone, and I'm able to connect to the phones, and they're all different. The other thing that reminds you about the closed captioning, the closed captioning is the little window that things pop up there and then are briefly displaced by new things. And the other thing is the transcript, which is a much larger window that shows you all the comments that have been made, and the new stuff pops in at the bottom and it scrolls up, and you can go back and find other things. So there's two different things in closed captioning, whether it's closed captioning, which is a small window that has larger font that is continually updating and disappearing. And the other one is transcript, which is continually updating and scrolling up. So investigate those tools and see which ones you like.
I've just looked at my closed caption box, and there's a caret on the right-hand side of it. And when I click that, it gives me the history.
Oh, you need to get in. Okay, hold on.
I think
Okay,
I'm the next. I think I am the next one with a hand up.
Go ahead.
I have hearing aids, and I would just offer a comment to those of you who have them and don't use them. A great deal of the efficiency of your hearing aid is going to be controlled by wax you have, one in your ear between the outside world and your eardrum, and second, the amount of wax that has been transferred into the receiver of your hearing aid. And if you go find a good ENT doctor who will remove your earwax 6 months or thereabouts, or maybe even more often, the thousands of dollars you spent for your hearing aids will be much more valuable. End of comment.
I was reflecting on audio, how your ears work in the middle of the night one night. And I was amazed, like a siren that was going on, I don't know how many miles away. And I thought, it's coming in.
Computer phone.
It's coming in with, the air moving, and it's actually coming in through the windows. The windows must be vibrating. And I was amazed at the fact that, your ears, you've got this eardrum, which the air has to bang against that, and that moves something else, and that moves something else, and that moves something else. And it finally gets into where some liquid is sloshing back and forth, and there's some little hairs in there that recognize that the liquid's sloshing back and forth, and that's what you hear. And I'm thinking, wow, that is amazing. But they say that if your ears were any more sensitive, you would hear the the molecules of air banging against your eardrum, which I find amazing. But it's an amazing structure, but it works. Okay, back to you.
More hands. Whoops. Yes, Saul.
Can I ask, Will, is that synthesized voice about a computer phone coming from you?
Yes, it is. I have a thing set up that recognizes whenever something attaches to my internet, and it tells me what is attaching. And I've got like 11 different things that come up that say they're attaching to my internet.
I would
Some-
encourage
most
you
of them I can
to,
identify.
I would encourage you to silence that during Zoom meetings or mute yourself.
Yeah, I don't know how to silence it, but I'll mute myself.
Thank you.
Okay, back to you, Hank.
I don't see more hands up, and I have to Zoom again with someone who is interested in renting my house so that I can come back to San Diego and plague you people in person. So I'm going to shut this meeting down unless there is someone who wants to wave their hand again. Nope. Okay, you can wave your hands goodbye. Aloha. See you.
Aloha.